In this presentation, we will use the Guardian's Creek located in Burwood to illustrate the potential elements that explain the languages of maths and science. In terms of mathematics, a child could count the number of trees, establishing the number concept. The kid could understand the spatial arrangement of things by determining the distance, space, and size when questions like how big is the tree. Thirdly, understanding of measurements could be enforced by asking how many leaves could fit in a hole. Finally, kids could understand shapes by sorting the different shapes of pebbles in the creek. All the above is executed by the process of identifying and describing attributes of specific object in the creek. Mathematics and comparing them with the knowledge of past from home or daycare, ordering, sorting, and patterning them in a way where complete learning occurs. In terms of science, the understanding of biological science is established by observing trees, plants, insects, humans and animals, birds and engaging with them. As a kid, the elements of the creek that excited me the most were the birds flying, since flying was fascinating to me. The presence of chemical and physical science is understood by understanding the soil, pebbles, the water in the creek. Movement of water and windy air around the creek gives an idea of what fluids are, which mainly constitute the physical science. Studies have shown that rivers and rocks are key to develop a sense of balance and body control when a kid is engaging with wet surface, thereby attaining accomplishments in movements. Rocks also define boundaries to kids. As a kid, I have personally played a lot of with pebbles by sorting them in different shapes of sorting them in increasing order of their size. Concept of place. Initially, the concept of place was merely a place of play where children spent their leisure time. Later, it got more meaning by adding the value of cultural, social, political concept of things. For instance, the creek that I have chosen has a path where there are snakes carved which represent that the traditional owners of this land are the Aboriginal people, and Australia has a rich Aboriginal history before the invasion. Eventually, the concept of agency gave more context to the play, broadening the scope of play but narrowing down the meaning interaction. Concept of agency. Agency is an ever-evolving concept, and one of the research papers increases theorization by describing it as children taking an initiative to perform an activity with beneficial outcomes. The ability to enact on their agency is relational in nature and depends on the interaction between the educator. Thereby, educator's role is crucial in facilitating the right environment and setting to enable children to understand freedom, participate, and ability to make decisions in accordance with their abilities. The freedom breeds exploration and the curiosity to learn to more things, which in turn cultivates ownership in the kids. Agency is key to building identity where kids make active choices that constitute their preference, beliefs, habits and choices. Once they understand their identity, they interact with their peers and community and learn the skills of communication, teamwork, collaboration. Children's right to play. One of the major roles of agency is establishing the child's right to play and making the play a meaningful experience and an attempt to make them independent learners. Articulating the role of place as a pedagogical context zone. Pedagogical context zone basically means an environment that has an intersection of various cultures, experiences, perceptions, and these variables interact with each other. There is an exchange of knowledge, ideas, beliefs between educators and children from different backgrounds of the same geographic location. Role of place as a pedagogical context zone is as follows. Cultural role. Place bring an identity to the person. The role of the educator is to create an environment where everyone's identity is respected. For me, my identity in terms of place is I was born in the outskirts of Sri Lanka in an agrarian lifestyle where I have been surrounded by huge lands with rich biodiversity. A country that is hot and humid, surrounded with water throughout the landmass. Ecological role. Integrating the importance of sustainability The concept of independence within the entire ecological system is crucial during childhood since embedding the right practices could increase their quality of life. Narratives. Local places have local stories with high value to share. The stories that I have grown up listening to would be different to a person who has been raised in South Africa, exposing them to local stories of the place they reside in, and different parts of the world shapes their local and global perspectives.